Welcome back, guys, to Pro League. We're all tied up here between Samsung Galaxy Con and SK Telecom T1 here. Deer able to take a very nice PvP on Deadwing against Classic, kind of putting a wrench into his quality play these days.
Yeah, Deer playing really well, making some good decisions, and actually not having any nerves. Having nerves of steel in the face of Hidden Phoenixes. He scouted late. He defended as best as he could, and very impressive. INnoVation, having a tough time in recent times in Pro League. He started out with a great record. He was at the top of the top. Now he's 8-4.
Yeah. Did he change his song, by the way? I don't remember him having a song.
I think so, yeah.
Yep, this is Umbrella by Epic High, featuring one of your favorite artists, right?
Yeah. Yuna is one of my favorites, and Epic High is also one of my favorites, so as you can imagine, I like this song a lot.
Yeah, so do I. INnoVation not really doing so well these days in Pro League. As you guys can see, that purple arrow says a lot. He was, I think, 6-0 in round 1, and since then, he's taken 4 losses and 2 wins, so really has gone down after being undefeated for a very long time.
He's had some trouble with his predictability. I think that's his biggest weakness. And he's up against, an opponent that doesn't have as much experience in the booth, but he has become one of the most successful players that Samsung's got to offer. 5-3 and 4-1 versus Terran.
Yep.
Seems to be his matchup.
This is definitely his matchup. I mean, even if you go look at Aligulak, you look at his stats, his TVT is like 58%. The other matchups are below 50%. It says a lot about where this guy finds his success. And, he's taken some games off of some big opponents, namely Byung, a guy that he chooses to take out from time to time. And, yeah, I think he's definitely got potential in here to possibly take this game and make it interesting for Samsung Galaxy Con.
Stork put him on this map. He expected a Terran. He wants him to play against a Terran. And it feels like Stork is not even afraid of INnoVation here for BrAvO. He has that confidence in him that he can take it.
Well, let's take a look at the predictions for this matchup. It's exactly 3v3 here for the first matchup of the night, actually, where the predictions differ. I'm the only guy on the desk for the foreigners going for BrAvO. Also, Yuri Hyun on the right for the Koreans, and the middle guy, the MC, going for BrAvO.
I vote for experience here rather than recent results. That's where my vote goes.
Well, let's see how the game is going to turn out. We're jumping into game number 3 between BrAvO and INnoVation. Down here in the bottom right, in the red for SK Telecom T1, it is INnoVation.
And up here, the top left in blue for Samsung Galaxy Con, it's BrAvO. BrAvO has had the most success in this matchup, and also recent successes. INnoVation, on the other hand, has had some troubles. But I feel like a newer player like BrAvO, or I wouldn't say he's a newer player, but a player who's a little bit newer to success, might have some nerve issues. I was also looking at these predictions myself because I feel like this is one of the tougher ones to call. In fact, the only tough one in the second matchup that's like really tough. But anyway, I was looking at this myself, saying I think that this is going to be a situation where Samsung is down 0-2, and then he's going to be stressed out against a player who has nothing to lose, basically, in a sense, because if he wins against a player who's much less experienced than him, it's all over. If he loses, his team still has another chance. So I think BrAvO is going to give us a good game here. Well, I think INnoVation, as long as he doesn't make, as long as he doesn't have a bad game, I favor him just because of his mechanics and his experience.
Yeah. Well, let's see how this goes. It looks like INnoVation is going to put down a barracks first. BrAvO going for gas. BrAvO definitely liking to do this. I think from what I remember, I don't actually see him going racks first very often at all, if ever. Definitely loves to go for that aggressive play.
I like that. I think that's the style I prefer the most right now in TVT. It's aggressive, forces your opponent to react. It actually gives you the power in the early game to make your opponent react to you while you then make choices. It puts you one step ahead in a lot of ways. But if your attack does no damage, and you find yourself in a bit of an awkward place. We saw that yesterday. And Let's see if he commits to Cloak or not. He's going to get that second gas up. Only time will tell. This SCV comes in here. Will scout it. Sees that the barracks isn't done. Click on that gas. Yeah. We're going to fight an SCV for a moment here. A little battle. That's dangerous, man. There's no reason to fight.
Finally puts that factory down. I was getting worried for a while. Actually, banging up that gas. Wasn't as quick as it could have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see it only slightly ahead of INnoVations even.
That's a really good point. I mean, if you're rushing this out, it's very important to get it as soon as possible because it's going to delay your first mule, among other things. No second gas. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing Cloak Banshee. Whereas INnoVation, though, will add his second gas pretty quick here.
Seems like INnoVation, you know, no Reaper shenanigans, of course. Just going for the scout with the SCV, building up his Marine count. And we'll just go for a bit of a later tech.
I think INnoVation...
But we'll get it out as well.
Right. I think INnoVation might just go for a Raven here right off the bat. That's what I would expect to see. We're going to see that tech lab added on the barracks in just a second here for BrAvO for that starport. Unless he's planning on doing a drop, which actually we might be seeing. He's getting that Hellion out right now. And Huh, okay.
Yeah.
He was scouted early on, which does kind of affect sometimes how you want to do this. Yeah, there's
the thing about INnoVation Scout is that he sees, like, okay, are you going aggressive? Are you getting that gas first? Are you going to get that very early factory? But he doesn't get to see the second gas, so he doesn't know exactly how much gas BrAvO is going to have out on the map. Usually, if you want to get that kind of scout, you go for a Reaper. You commit a little bit more. You spend some of your own gas for possible safety.
Yep. Let's see if he gets a Raven here, INnoVation.
Yeah.
Yep. They
both players.
Safety first. Nice micro here. Picks off the Hellion.
Yeah. Very nice position on those Marines there at the top of the ramp.
Yeah, we've seen a few different ways of doing this. Maru likes to spread his Marines in this matchup often on the top of a secondary ramp and then chase them down and kill like that. We've even seen Maru like set traps for Hellions with his Marines, but this is like the simplest way when you know the Hellion is coming to try to snap it. If they hesitate for even a second, like we saw with BrAvO there, you're going to lose it. He puts his CC first before INnoVation does.
Well,
just slightly.
Yeah, a couple seconds.
This is, you know, obviously ended up being quite a similar build between these two with how they decided to open. Slight variations.
Looks like INnoVation not committing to the tanks just yet, whereas BrAvO does want to get it out. One thing that we've seen BrAvO doing when he does get the wins in TVT, he loves to get position with his tanks towards the natural. I don't really remember many later game TVTs that BrAvO has played. A lot of like timing attacks. Kind of reminds me of like MMA, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. That's a pretty good comparison, actually. Well, it's just like BrAvO is playing now, like insanely safely.
Yeah,
with that seat
INnoVation
like
as well, just sitting back, you know, even flying around, just in case Banshees come in.
Yeah, the way that BrAvO is doing this, if he wants to do a follow-up attack, he is going to have that tank lead. But it looks to me like the way he's opened this and the way he's positioned his tank, he's just concerned about a drop. Oh, well, that watchtower is so held right now.
A gigantic explosion on one Marine.
Scan goes down here. Let's see if he does decide to move out with those two tanks.
That was a really nice scan, actually, to see the barracks dropping down on the tech lab. May lead BrAvO to believe we might see some infantry upgrades coming out at least.
BrAvO, in the meanwhile, is after that scan, adds his second factory. As moving across the map, we'll have two Vikings with the second one popping out here, which is very important because INnoVation does have that Banshee that he's going to want to use here. I wonder where that Banshee is, actually. Check it. Okay, it's up to the north right of his base with the Raven and the Viking. And we are actually seeing double Vikings come out here of INnoVation. Yeah,
INnoVation committing heavily to the air control.
Very early. This is really reminiscent of a build we saw Marine King try to do a long time ago, and it ended up going poorly for him, but yeah, the meta has changed quite a bit since then. So.
It's also funny that he goes for only one Banshee. You know, getting that air control is so important, especially when you have those Banshees, because maybe you have, you know, less tanks, but if you can get a good position on their tanks, just with one Banshee, you can do so much damage, and we've seen Terrans really commit to this kind of build very often.
Yeah, you're exactly right. One Banshee is essentially all you need. It's totally out of position for this drop, though, and all the SCVs have to be pulled. And he's got nothing here.
Oh, boy. Yeah, this is going to be pretty huge. It looks like INnoVation may just set up for the attack, but he's taken so much damage. Oh, my God.
Oh, he's going to take so much friendly fire from that siege tank as well.
Whoa. But at the same time, let's see if BrAvO can hold off this attack with less Marines.
The PDDs are so important here. Oh, he actually shot the Raven. I think that might have been a mistake. Auto turret goes down as well. These Marines are still doing damage.
INnoVation's economy is wrecked.
This is a mistake to try to break and try to attack instead of turning around. Like you said, it's wrecked. Like 44 to 26 wrecked. Yeah. And it's so hard to actually force a fight in TBT, even with a Banshee.
All BrAvO needs to do is commit to killing that Banshee, but at the same time, really good positioning there from INnoVation to save the Banshee. As you said before, the Banshee getting a ton of damage here, forcing BrAvO to pull a ton of SCVs off for the repair and put down some desperation turrets.
12 health left on that Banshee. Might even want to drop a mule to save, to repair some of that.
Yeah, that's like a really hard decision to make though as well, because with his economy wrecked, like, it's a big mule.
That's true.
Look at this, nice trades from INnoVation, but now, you know, missile turret is up. It's going to help out very, very much against that Banshee. Yeah. Still a very dangerous position for BrAvO here.
BrAvo's going to have to be using scans, as you can see here, to make sure he constantly has vision. If there's ever a moment where he doesn't have vision and the tanks hit him, he's going to be in so much trouble. INnoVation is playing this really well.
Yeah.
He needs to continue doing damage, though. The longer this goes on, the worse it's going to get. Ooh, Seeker Missile here. Oh, he brings SCVs towards that. To repair it, I guess, but going to cost him some SCV damage.
Yep, and look at the position of the tanks here. He's going to take out all the tanks of BrAvO.
I'm actually so shocked this will be able to do so much. It's that one Banshee, man, just like we were talking about.
And now BrAvO, he's got no tanks. He's got barely anything. He's only got Hellions here. He's trying desperately to get out 2 tanks at a time. But as you said before, that's going to be it. GG. INnoVation will take it in a very, very close game.
That was insane, and it's so hard to actually push someone in TVT when you've lost your entire economy because the defender advantage with tanks on high ground is so high. But if you have that air control, it allows you this flexibility. And INnoVation made that choice. I thought it was the wrong choice. But, you know, that's why INnoVation is one of the best Terran players in the world. I'm not.
Yeah.
Sick decision-making. He knew he had just enough. He knew he had air control. Very careful, calm pushing with that one Banshee. And that's enough.
Yeah. And I do have to agree with you. I do have to concede. I feel like his experience just in how many games he's played just allowed him to make the right decisions there in that matchup. Whereas BrAvO, not so much. You know, he did a lot of damage to the economy, but from there, he really didn't seem to know how to handle the situation at all. And he just took way too much damage, and that was it. And that was pretty much Samsung Galaxy's last hope, because we're about to jump into Dream versus Reality. And definitely favoring Dream here. I feel like BrAvO versus INnoVation, I feel like that was a much bigger hope for Samsung Galaxy Con.
Yeah, that was, I mean, BrAvO's best matchup. So this is tense now for the Samsung team. Deer was able to take that incredible win. BrAvO fails here, and I feel like BrAvO just didn't identify quickly enough that the air was going to be the problem. Having a little chat here with Frozen. I believe this is his ID, the actual coach of Samsung. Stork, of course, the spokesperson and playing coach, but Frozen is like the man behind the curtain, so to speak.
It's like Hush, man. Yeah. It's like that guy that just plays for CJM just every once in a while, but bolsters their team so much.
Did you see that shot back in the background, by the way, of Jim?
Oh, yeah, I saw him.
A girl?
Yeah, he's still here.
Jim's like, well, I didn't get to play, but we could talk about my my Protoss play.
Yeah. You know, I'm from China. It's really interesting over there. Let me tell you about it.
I wonder how good Jim's Korean is. I'm sure he's got some skills.
I heard him say hello before.
Yeah.
So he's got something.
He's got something.
Yep. Dream versus Reality coming up next year for game number 4. And Reality, the last game he played, like I said, it was a mech game versus Protoss versus Youngwa. He was able to make it work. And the map for this one is Echo. I think it's the same map, actually. Actually, I'm very sure it is.
It's almost like